Well, good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be able to welcome you all to this incredibly important meeting. It's hard for me to know where to begin on this topic. This is one that has been, in some ways, a personal passion of mine for a number of years. And I was thinking back to the day that I interviewed for the position to be editor-in-chief of Science. And I remember the selection committee asking me what were some of the issues that I would be personally involved in as editor in Science. And I said that I felt that the issue of reproducibility in science was a very important one, and I felt that a journal like Science couldn't be on the sidelines of an issue like that it actually had to be a leader in the issue of reproducibility and replicability, and that it actually had to be in the forefront of tackling the problem head on. And I remember years later, Alan Leshner, who had been the head of AAAS, came up to me and he said, you know, when you said that in the selection committee meeting, he said, I actually didn't think that that was going to be a big issue. And he said, but I was wrong. He said, you were right. That became a very important problem for the scientific community. And it was right for science to be a leader in that issue. And so I was thinking last night about how to kind of measure how much this issue has come to the forefront in science from the time that I first was stepping up as editor-in-chief of Science until today. And by some measures as to how much it has come to the forefront, at that time, it wasn't actually in Wikipedia. And now there is actually a Wikipedia page called Replication Crisis. So it actually has made it into the popular lexicon, and you can read all about it in Wikipedia. There are a number of groups that have stepped forward, and Brian Nosek's here, and the Center for Open Science has become a huge leader in tackling ways to address this problem and leading the community in solutions to it, a number of which we published in Science. For example, crowdsourced replications, the top standards, etc. When I was searching around on the web, I thought, hallelujah, there's even a journal devoted to publishing replications. And then I realized, oh no, the journal on reproduction is actually a journal on making babies. So no, there's not a journal on it. But actually, many journals now have specific instructions for authors on the conditions under which they will publish replications, either positive or negative replications, which several years ago, this was not something that was overtly described. A number of meta-replications have been published actually in major journals. Randy's here, and eLife is publishing meta-replications in cancer biology. Science did one in psychology. This is one way that the community gets some statistical understanding of the degree to which science can be replicated. And I think one thing we've learned from that is that this is not an easy problem to wrap our arms around, because just what constitutes a thumbs up or thumbs down on a replication is not necessarily easy to define, because it's not so black and white about when is a study replicated and when isn't it, because just defining what is a positive outcome and what is a negative outcome is not easy, either in psychology or in cancer biology. So this is something that the community is having a difficult time trying to understand. All of this, though, is, I think, making us stronger as scientists. I think one thing, though, that we're also trying to grapple with is the fact that we all do know that science has moved forward. We have developed new treatments for cancer. We have developed new drugs. We have created new understanding on very complex systems. And therefore, fundamentally, science is not as broken as some of these failures to replicate might lead us to believe. And so somehow we have to come to some understanding of how we can reconcile the replication with the fact that science still does move forward. So I hope in this meeting today we can help make, come to some agreement on how we can improve the reliability of science, increase trust in science without unduly burdening science. And we have a number of good suggestions for how to make science a better enterprise. And I'm looking forward to hearing all your thoughts today. So thank you very much.